Okay, so this is a space outside my side garage door where Betsy lives, and I do a bit of work on the car when the gravel is a good idea. If I look up the side here, I've got a high mounted security light right up there on the eaves to try and illuminate this area. And I've got a switch over here, and I use that to turn it on. And it isn't the most powerful security light in the world, it's an LED security light, but I wanted something I could leave on without worrying about how fast the meter was whirling around. So switch from a sort of traditional, what most of us see as a security flood lamp with a tube in, to that a little while back, and it's great. And it illuminates the whole area with sort of a softish light, and it does a job. A couple of issues. One, I come pottering out of the garage door when it's really late at night, and I can't get to that without already tripping over stuff. So I thought the idea of a motion sensor version of that up there would be better, just to trigger it when I'm moving around. Same reason for a bit of security, it'd be good to just have it turning itself on. And the other thing I was interested in is I'm so impressed with the way that the Sansi generates sort of daylight colouring. I was wondering if I did the floodlight with their stuff, would I get the same sort of effect? So I've got a Sansi motion detector floodlight, and I'm going to install it up there. I'm going to put it on a socket up there so I can switch between the two, and we can do a couple of experiments, compare, contrast, befores, afters, as soon as it gets dark. This is the manual for the kit in question, motion activated ceramic LED security light. I've had it on the worktop here for a little while, but just it's been too cold to do anything. And this is the device in question. So looks quite neat. It's got these maneuverable lamps with shades on, two of their sort of ceramic cooled light units in each. You can move that like that. You can also go up, down. You can go around to sort of straight out sideways to straight down, or obviously straight up. And these two obviously are moving independently. And then you've got the sensor unit at the bottom. And on there you've got little icons that say auto, on time, test, D to D. I would say that's dawn to dusk. And a little mode selector button that slides across there and makes some clicking noises. Underneath you've got lux, which is going to be how dark is dark before this trips on. You've got time in minutes from 1 to 10. So that will be how long it stays on once it's tripped. And over on the right hand side here we've got range, which will be about the sensitivity of this distance wise, what it's detecting. A feature of the design I'm particularly liking at the moment, I might change my mind when it comes to installing it, is this hole through the middle. So basically one screw holding the whole unit back after you've wired it up and done what you need to do. There's a decent manual with it. These obviously, this shows a picture with the larger shade on, so they come in different sizes. There we go, there's the one that I've got. So that's C2440GW. So the optimal height for installation is 2.4 meters. So I can arrange that no problem at all. Like most of these things, it shares the idea that the motion detector is high sensitivity across its path, very much reduced sensitivity moving towards it. That's pretty common with the other ones that I've installed. So the switch settings on the bottom that we just looked at, we've got test mode, LED light source lights up continuously for 5 seconds during both day and night as long as the motion sensor is detecting a moving object within its range. Test mode is used for checking the light's sensory function. So that's useful and means you're not standing around like statues trying not to move to set the thing up. Auto mode, LED light source only lights up at night time when motion is detected. On time, both the day and night time LED light source will light up when a product is switched on and turns off when a product is switched off. D to D, in this mode, LED light source automatically lights up when it's night time and turns off when it's day. We've also got this bag of fixings. The main item of interest is a big gasket to seal it against whatever you're pulling it up against. And there's a mounting bracket with kind of like a hook so you can photograph style, picture style, hang it with a keyhole. Also includes crimp terminals, which is quite nice. Aha. Right, so they're giving us 2 center screws, which is quite nice again. So I can either put this thing through, and that's going to go into a wall plug, or they're giving us this screw, which is going to go through the middle, and then you can screw on this. As I say, it's kind of like a picture hook mounting system with a thread in the middle. There we go. And that will clamp up like so, and then use the keyhole type mounting to hang it off a screw head. That's quite good. I like that. And we've got this gasket, which has a pre-punched hole in the middle that's not fell out. There you go. And that's going to go over like that, which means the wires will have to go through one of them spokes. Yeah, like so. So in order to make this more interesting, as I said, I'm going to put a socket on the wall up there so I can switch between the 2 units. And to facilitate that, I've got this, it's a Dial brand RCD weatherproof switch. So what I'm going to do is get on and mount this box on the wall at the right sort of point. Put the existing wiring to the socket, and then wire this up after. Okay, so with the socket now outside set up, next thing is to connect this up. I want to add some flex to this, so that's going to go onto those, but I don't really want to do the external joining, even though I've been given some decent terminals to do it with. So what I'm going to do, and it seems quite easy on this, is if you just lever the back panel a little, you'll find that it quite readily pops out. There we go. It's just basically held in place by two barbs on the sides. Oops, there we go. And we can see inside the unit. I'm going to take these tails inside the unit and connect them up on the other side of the panel. I'm going to start off by just shortening the live a little. Remake all these, they've just got a bit tatty. One. Two. Three. Oops. Let's remake them. You could easily take the neutral and the earth out of the terminal block inside here. The brown goes through to the sensor, so less easy to do. And you could connect them directly to that block, but I'm just going to do all three the same. I'm going to do a simple but very effective marriage joint on these. A crimped marriage joint rather than a soldered one, so maybe some of you say technically it's not. Basically just fan the individual strands a little bit on both pieces of wire, then mesh them going down as far as we can, then twist. And in doing so, rather than two things being wrapped around each other, as in two twists of wire twisted around each other, you've got all the individual strands intermingled. It's a lot more effective. And then I'm just going to trim the end. Nice neat end. Then we're going to put our supplied joiner on the end there. Then I've got a nice big powerful crimp, this ratcheting one, that I'm going to put over here and crimp it down. There we go. So there's our three connections made. I'm going to pop them in to here. Okay, so that's well positioned. Biggish cable tie around the flex. Like so. Probably about there. Pull him nice and tight and trim the end. Now we've got something that won't pull through the notch on the back plate. And so when we fit this, you know that's not going to pull back out. Cool, done. Just need to decide on length, and I'm going to put a UK 3-pin plug on the end of it. I'm going to leave far more flex on this than is strictly necessary, because I may want to change the location of the light later. I've got some changes to make on that wall, and so being able to have a little bit of flexibility with length may be very handy. There we go, so that's all rigged up with the flex and the plug. Got my screw for the middle. I've set the little gadget to test on the front. I've set all my dials to the midway point. So up the ladder and screw them up. So now we've got it up there fitted, and we've set it on test. All I have to do is move just a little bit and the light comes on. Stay still. Just wait 5 seconds, move again. So it's really convenient for setting it up. So this means I can come right over in the corner, wait for it to go off, and then try moving down the side of the van. It's triggered. Let's see if anybody's near my shed. Like, I'm now just gonna basically coming out the door of my shed. It's gone off, move around a little bit. It's a little dead to that because that's towards the light, the sensor even. If I step away from the shed that way, no, I think just needs a little bit more range. So that might be picking the sensor up, or it might be increasing the sensitivity. So that's my standard floodlight. It's an 11 watt sort of traditional floodlight, but LED. If we supplement it with the Sansi light, much better. Off, on. Both are being supplemented by the garage lights quite a lot, so I'm going to turn them off. Okay, so that's the effect of the floodlight. On its own, it's soft. although it looks white when you look at the light, it's quite amber as a colour on the ground. I mean, my gravel is bright red really. The van is white with a dark blue stripe. As soon as the Sansi comes on, the gravel looks red. Now obviously they're together, so it's hard to compare. So I'm going to disconnect the floodlight. Now you've just got the light from the Sansi. It's the colours. I don't think it's a game changer in terms of brightness. It is brighter, but the colours are just so much better. It'd be a lot easier to work in that area. You can see the difference between things. Yeah, nice. Easy to fit, easy to set, looks neat. Not the cheapest product, but it's definitely quality. I like it. Sansi floodlight security light. It's the colours. Really good, even. And as I say, the stripe's blue and you can tell it's blue in this lighting. Whereas it just looked black in the previous lighting. I've got no camera light on at the moment, so you're seeing exactly as I see. This is a dark corner normally, well lit, and the gravel looks the shade it is. And you can see all the way up until the shadow of the side of the shed finishes us off. Yeah, good little mission going in. Cold now. I'll see you on to the garage again real soon. Don't forget to subscribe and see what fun we get up to next. Bye.